very much those of you in the press who have come out to hear these remarks about this race and the subject of the Bridges Project and tolls. My name is Tyler Allen, candidate in the Democratic primary, which is a week away. And as we approach that primary, the subject of tolls has become much talked about because we have an unelected tolling authority that I might point out that I fought to make sure that the conversations that they are having would have been had in our Metro Council at the local level with our new the new legislative body representing this whole community that we've had since merger. Unfortunately, our Metro Council, despite our work to get them the right to participate, rubber stamped this authority and turned the power over this project over to them. That after 6 months, they decided to begin meeting, and we have had a few meetings under their belt, and we have already heard what we knew before, that tolls would be the only way to pay for a project that is $4.1 billion. And that is why they are discussing it today. I wanted to talk to you today before the election to make sure that the citizens of this community understood that, first of all, we are talking about tolls because the project is so bloated, so out of control, and so expensive. It is not affordable for our city, and it cannot be done without taxing our citizens again through tolls. If you all have seen, I think some of you in the press had seen the study from 2 years ago that they're updating now, clearly indicates the myriad of possibilities of tolling all of our bridge crossings. And knowing how expensive the project is, it is clear that that is what will have to happen. So I come before you today to say that the position, the consistent position on tolling, which I have had from the very beginning, I have been involved in trying to step up and defend the position of the people of this community, is that we should be building an East End bridge now. We can do that without tolling our citizens because the resources that we already pay in gas taxes are in fact available, and we as Louisvillians have the right to expect that those resources will be spent on a rational project that the vast majority of our citizens have been expecting for years. One cannot be against tolls on this project and expect that the entire Ohio River Bridges project, the 2 bridges, the 23-lane wide Spaghetti Junction, the expansion by 75 feet over the Great Lawn of the highway behind you, the doubling of the width through the middle of downtown, the ramp through the middle of the parking lot at Slugger Field, or the covering of the Extreme Park. None of that is possible without tolling our citizens. So the rational answer is that that is bad for our city to build that, and the fiscally responsible thing to do is not to, in fact, to do that to our downtown. So I just wanted to make that statement that the position on tolling is we need one bridge, we need it without tolls, it is supported by the vast majority of our citizens, and it is not a sufficient answer to be opposed to tolls, because if you are for the Bridges Project, then you are for tolling because the resources cannot come from anywhere else. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak to the community about that. So, any questions? Thank you.
Did you obviously Jim King was supposed to last week to that press conference at so did you hear anything about
I did not. I knew he was coming down to speak on the subject of tolls and the bridges. Had someone who went there explain to me the position that he took. I come here to say I am very pleased, as I said that morning, I am pleased when other candidates are paying attention to the issue that I have been stepping up and speaking about for years now, okay? So I am appreciative that many of the candidates have come around to at least part of my position and understanding the demands of our citizens that we address this subject. But I wanted to avail myself of this opportunity to put on the record what I believe the facts are about what should be done, what shouldn't be done, and the degrees to which, if you support the Ohio River Bridges project and building both bridges and the enormous junction, resources are not available to do that. And therefore, you must support tolling, because that's the only place they're going to get money to build something that is so oversized.
In your opinion, what's the significance that now it would seem that roughly half of the field from there imposes tolls on existing bridges?
The significance, I hope it is that they know that it's a really big issue, that they can look and see the democratic process being subverted by handing it over to an unelected authority, and they probably sense that the stakes are so great for the future of the city that they want to add their voice. Having worked on this for many years, knowing a great deal about the facts, having looked at examples of projects elsewhere in the country, particularly I wear the button from the St. Louis, Mississippi Bridge they just broke ground on, an example of a project that was over $2.5 billion, bloated and out of control. They were going to have to toll their citizens, but their leaders stepped back, shrunk the project down to $640 million. They broke ground on it, and they'll be done in 3 years. That is precisely what we must do with the East End Bridge. And so anything that the other candidates in this race can do is incredibly important to focus attention on this, the biggest economic development issue facing the community. We just got to make sure, though, that the citizens understand truly what's at stake. Questions? That's it? Questions? Anybody else have questions? If not, thank you very much, and we'll be available anytime, as you know, to answer questions on it. Thank you very much.